Namaskaram and welcome to you all to today's session. In continuation of our pursuit of finding solutions to world problems in the domain of education, today we have an accredited academician, scholar, motivator, and an eminent speaker, Professor P.K. Dashora, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalayatan University, Jabalpur. He needs no introduction as he is very well known in national and international academic environments. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion today. Today, a major challenge for us, we the educators, is the methodology to adopt to reach to the student audience. There seems to be a gap which is widening day by day between teachers and students. This automatically reflects in the perception developed by the industry and society on the skills available to meet their needs. Graduate School on World Problems, in association with the World Knowledge Commission, is striving to find ways to overcome the challenge using the inputs in these interactions. I now request Professor Dashora to share his thoughts. Over to you, sir, Professor Dashora. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Namaskar to every one of you. At the outset, I extend my heartiest thanks to Professor Murthy and Professor for providing me an opportunity to share my views on event being organized by 7 organizations, including WCPA, TCEAM, ECI, EPI, SPI, KVP, NASI, ER. It is not a matter that how many organizations are involved. It is more important that what topic we are discussing on. And before I just start sharing my view, I would slightly modify my introduction. I am not at Jabalpur. I am at Mangalayatan University. Mangalayatan University is at Jabalpur also from the same group. But I am at Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh. So just because if anyone wants to remember my position, so I should correct it.
Sorry, sir. I stand corrected. Thank you.
No issues, sir. So today, when we are discussing topic human values and education, first I think we should understand what is education and why should we connect it with human values. I would quote the definitions of education given by 2 eminent people. One is Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein defines education as education is what which remains when one has forgotten everything he has learned in the schools. Then, if he has forgotten everything which school and colleges and institutes teaches him, then what is education? What remains? It is way of life. How person acts, how he behaves, how he feels, how he responds to the situations, and it is character. This character is imbibed in a person by culture. Second definition, which I would like to remember and suggest you also, given by Vivekanand, education is the manifestation of perfection already within a person. So what is that perfection? Is it perfection of skill or perfection of living life in a society? Perfection of skill can be achieved in so many ways, but the person may not be suitable for the society. Why should we look at other places? I just quote the name of Osama bin Laden. He was a very qualified person. The people who attacked our parliament, they were qualified people, very intelligent. then certainly they were perfect, but they were not for the society. So education we need to consider in the context of our rearing, our value system, our culture, which we have been inheriting from time immemorial. And I think that a new era can be ushered in world society through inculcating fundamental or basic human values for peace, prosperity, harmony, and mutual coexistence. Human values are eternal and timeless. They are truths. These are an important component of our behavior or moral code of conduct. Family, as regards school is concerned, family is the first step in the development of human values, and mother is the first teacher. Family is again to be considered very pivotal in the development of the values and in the development of a person. Mother being the first teacher, the surrounding, the ambience of society, all contributes in the development of a child, and ultimately they become the seed of his developmental process. When, what and how the human values are given at family level becomes important. Educational psychologists opine that up to 5-6 years of age, the behavior of others and family environment influences the child. And the foundation of values are set at this stage, at this age. And it is the first step of our education system. Educational psychologists' opinion, we cannot ignore it. And for that, training, encouragement, rewards, and punishment, there are some normal tools which every family uses to develop human values. We should not ignore that. The very quotation we have learned when we were a child, spare the stick and spoil the child. Though our legal system doesn't provide it, and we have handicapped our teachers even in schools, even to ask a student to just feel that he has done some mistake. So we should address this issue also, and education should certainly give a thought on it. Can we develop values without a sense of fear in child? It is very necessary, in my opinion, that there should be some fear. In India, especially in, I don't know how it is communicated in the south, but in north side, we say that aankhon ki sharm. That aankhon ki sharm is very important. And if we do not start the sharm or see the seeds of this sharm in the child itself, then perhaps whatever problems we are facing in our society, they will multiply. Human values and culture-based system is our heritage. Our Indian ethos very well help us to nurture human values. Our culture is perhaps one of the oldest culture on the earth. Indian culture is very dynamic in its nature. And no culture can survive if it is not dynamic. It is dynamic in such a way that it is like a fountain from the, or rather it is like a jharna from the Himalaya, And in a continuous process, it reaches to the sea in the south. But it is continuous and separate also. Because the drop which has traveled is not the same drop which is coming again. But there is a continuity. So that continuity is there in our cultural ethos for human values. We can we can think of Indian ethos and Indian values from the beginning of the creation of this universe, and the search of the roots of Indian culture has attracted the attention and care of philosophers from time immemorial. Gita has clearly pronounced na sato vidyate bhavo na bhave vidyate sata. Na sat na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata. Meaning that what does not exist cannot come into existence. And what exists cannot be destroyed. So our culture existed, and values based on our culture existed right since time immemorial. As per the teaching of Gita, it cannot be destroyed. If it is there today, it was there right since time immemorial. This is what we call today the law of conservation of energy or mass. The holy land of Bharat is a witness of it, because we have seen many occasions where perhaps we thought that, or our ancestors were in a dilemma that, shall we be in a position to preserve our culture, our value system, our heritage? But it is still existing, facing all challenges. And that is the beauty of Bharat. Bharat, that has been defined as Uttaram Samudrasya Himadrishchaiva Dakshinam Varsha Tada Bharata Bharati Tatra Santati. The land north of the sea and south of Himalayas bear the name Bharat. The concept of this land has been clear in our minds since time immemorial. Though our constitution defines India, that is Bharat, but now time has come to say Bharat, that is known as India also. This is what my humble submission is. The human values and guiding principles of humanity has been realized by Indian rishis, Indian saints, Indian philosophers, Indian teachers, and they were able to declare all mankind certain way of life as dharma. Dharma is not religion. Religion is sect. There's a difference between dharma and religion. Unfortunately, it has been said that translation of dharma is religion, or religion is dharma in Hindi or in Sanskrit. But to me, it is a faulty translation. Religion is sect. Mat, pant, sampradaya, that we can say religion. But dharma is duty, eternal. And the 10 characteristics of dharma, duty, has been mentioned in Manusmriti. Almost same has been mentioned in Mahabharata, also in Shanti Parva. They have been mentioned in other scriptures also. But as mentioned in Manusmriti, Dhrati Kshama, Namosteyam, Shaucham Indriya Nigraham, Dhi Vidya Satyam Krodho, Dashakam Dharma Lakshanam. That is patience, forgiveness, restraints, that self-control, stealth, purity, control of sense organs, discrimination, knowledge, and absence of anger. These are the 10 forms of duty, or that is, they are the 10 characteristics of dharma. And when we just imbibe all these 10 characteristics in ourselves or in any individual, I think that the speciality of dharma is uh, reflected in our behavior. The characteristics of dharma is reflected in our behavior, and it is reflected in way of basic moral principles. These characteristics in any human being can and should be developed by educating them Indian ethos, where it has been declared that Vishwa Bhavetyakam Needam, world may become one home where everyone can receive shelter. Everyone, not only human being. It is a home. It's a nest for everyone. Vishwa Bhavetyakam Needam. It is it is the basic uh, soul of our Indian culture, Indian ethos, Indian value system. We have had great scholars. We have scholars giving great thoughts, great religious and great philosophers who have had an enormous effect on humanity, propagating Sadaya Radayam Yasya Bhaktim Satyabhushitam Kam Parahite Yasya Kalivasya Karoti Kima, अर्थात जिसका हृदय दयालु है, वाणी सत्य से भूषित है और जिसके कार्य परायों के हितार्थ हैं, उसका कली क्या कर सकता है, काल क्या कर सकता है. That is, what can evil effect of Kali age do on a man whose heart is filled with compassion, whose every utterance is truth, and whose body is dedicated for the service of others. The value of any nation or society depends on their culture. The real meaning of word culture lies in giving up the bad thoughts and bad actions. If it is not there in any behavioral pattern, then it is not culture. Culture has to teach that give up bad things, give up bad thoughts. And if we cannot give up bad things and we cannot give up bad thoughts, then perhaps we are not cultured. हम किसी संस्कृति के पुरोधा या वाहक नहीं माने जा सकते यदि हम अपने बुरे विचारों को, बुरे कार्यों को त्याग नहीं सकें. Millennium back, when the Britishers used to roam around naked in woods, our rishis sang the song of Samved. Or even we say that Kak Bhushundji, the crow rishi. We have rishis in the form of birds even, or bird that too, kawa, crow. They were singing Samved song. Our heritage is very holy. We have a great heritage of Dharma and Sanskriti. Many, many centuries ago, our ancestors were able to realize the ultimate truth behind all existence. They were able to declare all mankind that they had actually seen and experienced the eternal truth, the divine being, where knowledge and high standards of life values enabled man to transcend all bonds of death and misery and attain everlasting bliss to become bliss himself. A person achieves bliss and becomes bliss. It is our culture. And the path to that is our value system. in order to help men of different aptitudes and abilities to realize the great truth. Our great men created a variety of creeds. The variety was not divisive, it was with a view to assist. Even while aspiring to attain the ultimate truth, man has to strive for his worldly needs also. A unique system was therefore evolved to enable every individual to discharge his worldly obligations, to obligations towards his family, towards his neighbors, towards his community, towards his nation, towards this world, and towards the universe also. And we have just summarized it in an expansion of self being from Vyashti to Samashti, Samashti to Srashti, and Srashti to Parmeshti. From macro to micro, micro to Srashti, any world, so and from for universe, and from Srashti universe to God, Parmeshti. A person attains his or expands himself, his feelings, his behavior, his acts, his deeds, from self to the ultimate God, and he becomes God himself. And we have great people whom we worship as God. Great people. They were all human beings. Maybe Ramchandra ji, maybe Krishna ji, maybe Buddha, maybe Shankar. Who are they? We just worship them as God. Mahavir, Gautam. They were all human beings, but they expanded themselves from Vyashti to Parmeshti. A unique system that is still existing in our daily rituals, and I think that non-formal education is teaching it. The sum total of this rightness is the sanskar. It is being transmitted by social ethos, by pursuit of this dharma in our Sanskriti or culture. We all know that is common in our India. Whatever, wherever we are living in north or south, in east or west, we are Kashmiri or Malayali, we are Rajasthani or from Uttar Pradesh or Gujarati or Bihari, but our culture is same. We all cherish the same values in our life. We have great scholars of thoughts, great religions, and great philosophers. Nowhere in the world there flourished extremely opposite viewpoints simultaneously. It is India where Shatadarshan, and philosophy also there are six astic darshans, that the darshans, the philosophy, school of philosophy, a sixth school of philosophy that believe in the existence of God. And we too have school of philosophy that doesn't believe in the existence of God. We have cherished all. It is India where we have developed philosophies, and we still consider Charvak as a rishi who just mentioned that Renankatva Gratam Pivei Pratam Param Varshatam Jivei Bhasmi Bhuteti Dehasya Panarjanmoti Kato Kada. Take loan and drink ghee so that you can be powerful. You can maintain your health. Live for 100 years. This body will be turned into soil and on the ashes. We don't know whether we'll be reborn or not. We are also worshipping, or we consider the person who propagated this philosophy as a rishi. So India has certainly much to give to the world. Our culture has been contributing significantly in the inner growth of a man. That inner growth I just mentioned, that from Vyashti to Parameshti, it teaches way to behave with others. It builds the capacity to understand other people and make yourself understand others. I think that nowhere in the world this teaching is being propagated at matravrat pardareshu pardravye suloshtvat atmavrat sarvabhuteshu ya pashyati sapandita. I don't think there is anywhere in the world anything of anything like this has been propagated or taught. But we are cherishing these values. Every woman is like my mother. Even maybe it's a diamond. For me, it is just like a stone or less than a stone if it is not mine. Pardravye suloshtvat. If it is others, it is just like it has no importance. Atmaratsarabhuteshu. Everybody, every living entity is like me, like myself. Ya pashyati sa pandita. The one who looks at this, who behaves this, is pandit, is scholar, is really enlightened person. Our culture has never been static. I just mentioned it. It's a continuous flow of life. It has never been aggressive also. Our culture is a culture of accommodation. Perhaps it is India only. I think that everyone remembers the speech given by Vivekananda at Chicago, where he has very categorically mentioned that India has given shelter to everybody. Everyone who got dejected from their native place, they came to India and India accepted them and absorbed them. We are not aggressive, we are not divisive. India has a recorded history of university education also, as regard education is concerned. We were the world leader in education. We had 600 years ago also, about 2500 years ago, Nalanda University, Takshashila University, Vikramshila University, where the scientists and scholars all over the world were attracted and they came here to study. So I think that there was something to teach to the world that time also. And today, we are not bereft of values. We have sufficient stock of and sufficient number of people who can be the value teachers. And I think that all of us sitting here and participating in this discussion are some way or other much, much, much better than a good number of people whom we come in contact in our society. Those who do not behave on values and do not cherish the values. Those who are not being developed by their family or society for a good citizen. We are much better because today it is one evidence that we are discussing this issue. It itself is sufficient to establish that we we people can be value teachers also. The Gurukul system of India, as regard because education is also part of our discussion. The Gurukul system of India produced Veds, Upanishads, Vedants, Brahman Granths, what not. They are ultimate as on today also. They are ultimate. The guiding principle and philosophy of our cultural heritage is our principle of development of human beings. We do not believe in developing ammunitions. We do not believe in developing tanks. We do not believe in developing armaments. We believe in developing human beings, which essentially is a process of liberation from the clutches of ignorance and realization of one's full potential in making and contributing the society a better society than what we have received from our ancestors. It is our system of education. It is Indian culture which teaches there is no dharma higher than satya. There is no dharma higher than satya, and there is no satya higher than dharma. It is Indian culture teaches. It is Indian culture which has just given one quotation, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. The Satya, truth, it is Shivam, it is Kalyankari. Shivam, it is useful, it is beneficial. Satya is the only thing which can develop the society. And Satya is, truth is not only Shivam, but it is simultaneously Sundaram also, it is beautiful also, because it beautifies the humanity, because it beautifies the personality of a person. We have already been taught by the saying that सत्य पराजित नहीं होता. Satya never gets defeat. And it is Indian ethos which propagates the truth. And it is dharma. Now, the physical scientists have started to suspect that life is much more mysterious than what it appears to be on surface. As a result, we observe a great interest of people from all over the world in perhaps or paraphysical sciences such as yoga, meditation, Zen, Vipassana, Reiki, Bruno Gruning, and the likes. And it is in other part of the world also, there are certain systems are evolving. The yoga from India, the Ashtanga yoga from India, which encompasses all these, becomes yoga when it goes to the West. And only the one part of it, that is from the Ashtanga yoga, asana, only becomes yoga. Otherwise, in West, none has even cared for the stage of the samadhi, which is at the 8th stage. Yam, Dhyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi, all these 8 components. Perhaps we are starting, the West is starting even from the Yam. And there also, the 5 components of Yam, Satya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, they are away from it. So at least they are just concentrating on themselves only asana. But that Patanjali has given us Ashtanga Yoga. And Patanjali has summarized it in it. But who is our Adi Yoga? Adi Yogi is Shiv. Adi Yogi is Shiv. Adi Kalakar is Shiv. Shivam Sundaram, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, that Shiv, that is Adi Yogi. And that yoga is coming into India after becoming yoga. So I think that the Indian tradition, Indian ethos is much more powerful and it has much more to convey to the society. The latest bestsellers in the world, especially from the West, are speaking nothing else but the Vedanta. May it be Hermann Hesse in Siddhartha or Khalil Gibran, the prophet, or Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance, or Stephen Covey's principle-centered leadership, or Lives of a City by Louis Thomas or Deepak Chopra's books, or best sellers by Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged and Fountainhead. All these books, they're all directly or indirectly communicating Vedanta. The Tao physics by Kafka, I think that it covers the physics and not only physics, but the uh, atomic molecular science which has been discussed in our ancient literature. In my opinion, no civilization can stand unless it has a culture, and no culture can stand without a sound philosophy. Indian culture is not built on hamburger and Coca-Cola. Madonna and MTV. Indian philosophy and culture right from the origin gives us a holistic approach right from its origin to the art of living and the art of dying. How to live and how to die, it has been preached in Indian culture. It has been taught in Indian culture. It provides us a quest to know who we are, where from we have come, why we have come, what's our role here, where we are going, what's the meaning of life. It expresses the ultimate limits of our consciousness, our creativity, and our compassion. Sir, in my opinion, India only can give the world that philosophy. We still have the seeds of that philosophy in our teaching of our great social leaders of our age. Maybe they are Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans, Vivekananda, Yogananda, Shivananda, Dev, Mahirshi, Gandhiji, Dev, Gautam Swami, a number of such rishis we have, they can give light to the world, not only to the we people. And they have given. Still, their preachings, their teachings can change and revolutionize the world. These great leaders have really contributed to our culture. They have contributed to our value system. And they have contributed much more to the humanity itself. Today, we can see and witness the hollowness of Western civilization with its emphasis on the competition and greed, public relations, self-advertisement, violence, sex, and all those traits which are detrimental to the value system, human society, creating conflicts in the living of the human being. And today we can see the tremendous destroy which is being witnessed in two big wars at Israel, at Russia and Ukraine. Not only this, we can witness it in our neighboring country also. Maybe it's Pakistan or Bangladesh. And we are very sad to see some seeds of such unwanted activities in our India also. Why it is so? Because we failed to inculcate values in our citizens. We can, our world has said that the 19th century was the century of England, Britain, because they dominated. They were ruling all over the world. 20th century was the century of USA. But I firmly believe that 21st century is the century of India. It will be dominated by India, not physically, but morally, ethically, by value system, by granting people how to live the lessons. The Indian value system has a capacity and will make this world a better world than what it is presently. The Indian philosophy only in this world reaches that, and its roots are in the saying, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, Sarve santu niramaya, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashchina dukha bhavet. Let everybody be happy. Everybody. Not me or you. Everybody. Let everybody be disease free. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everybody see the good. Everything good. Everywhere good. Everywhere is greenery. Ma kashchin dukha bhavet. There not be any suffering anywhere. It is our culture. And we are the witness of our culture, because even today in India, we are in the position to talk this. We are in a position to discuss that. We are today, we a few people sitting here and joining this discussion. Only a few, really a few, but not few. Not few. Because we know that even one person can change the world. Our ideas, we shall propagate it for the betterment of world, and we can understand the need of harmony of head, heart, and hand. That symbolizes the true human value, and that is being conveyed in our saying, manasya kama, vachanasya kama, karmasya kama, mahatmana. He is noble whose words, thoughts, and deeds are in perfect harmony. And that perfect harmony can come by establishing a harmony in our head, hand, and heart. And that education system, we have just moved towards that by NEP 2020. This NEP 2020, it's a complete topic, but I just mentioned here, because time is almost over. I just mentioned it here that after independence, India has seen many education reforms, ayogs and committees, Mudliar Ayog, Radhakrishnan Ayog, Kothari Commission, new education policy, revision in the new education policy, and now the national education policy. This NEP 2020 is the only policy which is considering education right from the pre-primary to PhD. Otherwise, none earlier considered all these components, all these segments. And one last line I would like to say, because I think that time allotted to me is over. Friends, up till 2020, there was education in India. But through NEP 2020, we will see India in education. And when India comes into the education, certainly our value system will get strengthened. And at each step of the educational stairs, value education is an important part of NEP 2020. That value education we should really appreciate, we should communicate, we should transmit it to our coming generation, to make not only India a better India, but this world a better world. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was really, indeed, very, very comprehensive and very well presented, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Immensely, we are grateful to you. Uh, One thing is now clear: everything is not lost. So there are still many more opportunities where we can overcome the challenges and then start marching on our growth path. Uh, Thank you so much. Uh, any questions?
Sir, yeah.
But
Sir, can I? Can
yes,
I?
yes, yes, yes,
Ah.
yes.
So I was just wondering whether, as you rightly said, that India is going to be leading in this whole, process of values, and we are really a country which will lead now the world with keeping in mind the peace, prosperity, harmony, all that stuff. You think spiritual will play a very critical role, sir, if it's really inculcated in the education system? Because see, we only think about spirituality after 50 years, after 60 years. Okay, now we have to get into spirituality. But if it's beginning से ही एक culture बना देंगे, तो I think that will really make a difference. I don't know how do you really make it a part of the education system. You used to have moral science, we have ethics, but those are more of a academic subject. But this is more of a self subject. It's more of a inner uh, kind of going into yourself, and how do you really do good, bad, wrong. Those are the things which are very important for human being. Looking at what's happening around us. I don't know. These are just my thoughts. I don't know how do we really bring it, because that's our strength, sir. That's our strength in our country.
Madam, in my opinion, at the beginning I just mentioned, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Please go ahead.
In the beginning, I just mentioned mother is the first child.
Yeah, that is true, sir. That is true.
And
I agree
this
with you.
I
I agree.
realize in my personal life also.
Agree.
That
Everyone,
there,
every
there are
family.
many instances where at the very beginning I could have committed some mistakes which have developed
Yeah,
in my life.
absolutely,
My
sir.
mother checked at the first instant and they were the value system.
Correct,
That
sir.
is, uh, there are number of instances. I just give you one example. At the age of 5 or 6, I was asked to go to a nearby shop and get something purchased. Perhaps that was a part of my training. I could count that time also. The shopkeeper returned me some excess money. I was very happy.
Correct.
I brought it to my home and I just showed that I am so smart that I could get more money. Immediately, my mother sent to the shop, asked
Go and give,
to
go
get
and
back.
give it back. Yeah,
And there are many such instances.
yeah. So I also feel besides values, a mother can be a very good manager. I think I teach in a management institute, and I feel mothers are the best managers. The way they manage interpersonal, the way they are compassionate, the way they do things at home, the time management, everything is done by a mother. If you really go to see what we teach all in management school is nothing but keep a mother in mind and see what she does throughout the day. You will see that the best management lessons a person can have. How she saves money, how she really manages resources, how she helps in crisis. All these things are so important for a person's way of life. That's what we teach in management institute. But a mother is a full of nothing but a
I give you another
tremendous.
example. Our student of postgraduate classes. I knew that in my final examination of MSc, such and such teacher who taught us will be setting the paper. I went to him, assuming that this is the topic which I am not clear. I went to him to clarify it. He was the paper setter. He taught me the complete topic. He was the
Ah,
paper setter. He knew that the topic
you
is not
didn't.
being covered in the paper.
Okay, okay.
It is a value system.
Yeah,
Dedicated,
absolutely,
and he
absolutely.
devoted his 1.5 years hours time. That time. 2 days before my paper. You could have said, okay, okay, leave it.
Yeah,
So these are the
yeah.
value systems a teacher
Absolutely,
can.
absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Very true.
So if we are clear in our,
Very
sir is associated with a number of organizations, and I think that as a consultant, he must be coming across some people, some clients just expect some wrong to be done. Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely,
And,
sir.
and he must have restrained himself. So these are it's our value system.
Yes, sir. Very
Uh,
true.
I know one case. Amlata madam is sitting here, and she organized one seminar at Udaipur where I was present, and Professor Pathak Sahab was there about social ethics and social commitment. Something of topic was this. Pathak Sahab just narrated his own example. He never crossed red light. He never visited any platform without a platform ticket. And above all, his daughter was studying in B.Ed at his own college.
You never
He
get.
didn't recommend her daughter's her daughter's case to the fellow teachers for granting some more marks. As a result, she suffered, but he was of the opinion, and I still
Absolutely.
am quoting him here. There are people
There
of
are,
such.
there are. We have all such
We
role
have to
models.
behave that way.
We have all such role models. All of you all are role models for all of us, and we are all peers learning from each other. I think that's so important. So important in this group. I think we have this group which is really very solidly highly valued peer group.
Dr. Talesra.
Professor Dashura, congratulations for this very knowledgeable and fruitful lecture. In modern education, human values has become an important aspect, and it is not just to impart knowledge, but also develop human values like respect, responsibility, honesty, morality, or ethical values also. But in present situation, you also observe, and I am also observing in teachers training colleges, in schools, students are not willing to attend the classes.
Actually, yes, madam.
Teachers
Very
are
true.
not willing to
Very
teach
true.
the classes. So there is a question: how can we impart values among the students? They want to understand the values. They are not willing to understand the values. So, what is the best possible way to impart values in our students? It is the question, emerging question, I think.
Madam, your concern is very serious because I too am observing because and it is the fifth university where I am serving as a vice chancellor. I have also served as a member Rajasthan Public Service Commission, and today, uh, at least those who are from Rajasthan can know the status of our state of members of the Public Service Commission. Two of them are in jail. One has already resigned. Inquiry is going on. So it is the crisis, and the reason is our system, holistic system, right from top to bottom, the management of college and universities, the teachers themselves, the students, all are after easy gains. But I would just, in our course, we teach that Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava, Rashtra Devo Bhava. And from mother to nation, if right since the early childhood, if we inculcate these values, Still, we feel that there are good teachers who take classes. There are certain students who attend the classes. There are teachers who do not yield to the students. There are, as on today also, there are teachers who believe in bona fide research, but there are teachers who just publish fake papers. We have all sort of people here. So good and bad. At every time it existed. Good has to, or good had to struggle a lot to survive, and ultimately Satyameva Jayate. We have to struggle a lot. We have to exert. And it's a fact you are mentioning. There is no question in it. Everyone wants easy access. Everyone wants some recommendation. Everyone wants uh, without putting necessary efforts or inputs. One should get the result. It is the weakness. That's why we are talking of the value. Had it not been the situation, there was no need of discussing this thing.
Thank you. Thank you very
Any more,
much.
any more questions? Yes, Ms. Joshi.
Chandra Joshi. Yeah.
Sir, good evening to
Good evening.
all of you and Suraj sir also. And sir, as the question was here and the topic was also related to value education in our education system. How should we inculcate values among students? And madam is also in teacher education department. I am also from the teacher education department. So I have seen where I am posted here near Badrinath in Uttarakhand. So I have just last year I have posted here. So I have seen the differences between the means the places. So where I am posted here, students are so much curious to learn everything. And the day the 9:30, 9:45 they are coming to college, and when we say them to go, 5 o'clock, after 5 o'clock they go their homes. They are so curious what it is depend on the teacher, what kind of teacher is teaching them. So what actually I do, as sir told in his answer that we should it depends on the teachers, how teachers is going to teach them, what kind of teachers behavior, what kind of teacher have the knowledge which they are imparting. So what actually I am doing here, 5 to 10 minutes before giving my lecture, before starting my lecture, I give them the lessons of moral values daily, at least 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. I just try to give them the lessons of moral values, how education is important, your training is very important, but before that you have be a good city, you have to become a good citizen of our country. You should have to inculcate values. What exactly values, how knowledge, we always talk in a lecture, knowledge and skill and attitude. So we focus them that knowledge is important and skill are very very important, and except these two things, the behavior, the attitude is very important. So students are they are, I what I can say, I just comparing the education of this place and to that place where I was earlier. So I have found that the cultural values they have just imbibed their culture in wholeheartedly. I mean, they are doing so. I can't just say that they have cultural values, they have ethical values. They do respect always. Even when I go to that street and I'm going to market, if they met me in market, they just touch my feet. So this type of values I have seen here. So we are just trying to give them more whatever they want. So this is the priority of this teaching community, what we can give them. So this is the I just want to say that we always said that students imitate teachers. Whatever teachers do, they do itself. So the same thing, then I got a message from my student from that place. He told me, madam, you are my best teacher in my life. So I was just surprised how I am best. So, he started the lines With you come daily, you are so punctual, and you attend daily prayer. Early prayer we do the like national anthem and thought of the day, news, and national song, everything. So I was, so it depends what kind of behavior you have. Matlab, before coming to stand, I was regularly attend the classes, that prayer. So he was writing in his message that ma'am, you always come you always used to come daily in morning prayer. So we were motivated. If teachers are coming, so we should come also. So that type of small things, we never compare it to the big things. Matlab, we are doing a great thing, national level and international level thing, but from the smallest small things we can inculcate values among them. This is also one kind of value: punctuality, respect teacher. If teacher have instructed you come in daily in time, so before that teacher should be there. So the type of small things we are just trying to inculcate them. So multifaceted personalities, multi skills among them in hilly areas students. So I'm just trying to do effort on my part, some efforts. How can I can means give them the facility? How can I facilitate to them what kind of matter they want, what kind of knowledge they want, what kind of curiosity they have? How can I going to fulfill? I'm just trying to do in this field. So I'm very values is means something is different. You know, somewhere it is already is there, but somewhere it is lacking. Thank you, sir.
Madam, on behalf of all of us, I congratulate you. I
Thank
sincerely
you.
congratulate you. And I just would request you to please keep that letter preserved with you.
One
It is,
initiative I
yeah.
want to say add something. One initiative I have taken in this college, that I have for the 2023 2024 and 25 enrolled students, I have just taken initiative from the B.Ed department, from the teacher education department. I have prepared a letter, official letter, what I am going to do for the PG student, including B.Ed student. Only PG student means maybe second year students. So it is a kind of our initiative. So what I'm doing, that I just want to, communication skill is lacking among them because they have no means environment, no. So I am just trying to communication skills in English. The second is communication English skills in Hindi also, and meditation classes. I just take meditation myself. I am also following this meditation process, and that mindfulness exercises, and that stress management, that time management, and personality development aspect, multi type of aspect I am taking. And I am doing, I have started this initiative that I'll do for these students. What, how much they can, even not 80%, but at least 50% they have gained, it will be my means my efforts will be successful.
Very good, madam. Once somebody asked me, what are the characteristics of a good teacher and which characteristic you would rank at the number one? My reply was transparency in the personality.
Yes.
If a person is transparent, whatever he is inside is outside,
Yes.
then the teacher is a successful teacher.
Yes.
If he knows his subject, he would say, I know. If he doesn't know, he would say, I don't know, I'll read and tell you. This
Yes.
transparency is one thing. And second thing is, he should be a bona fide person. Second thing is, he should be a bona fide person. Bona fide, the meaning that there should not be any difference between his words, his inner thoughts, his words, and his acts. If these three things are on side,
Very perfect.
certainly he is a good teacher and he can be a role model.
Yes.
None of us is perfect. We
No
cannot
one
be
is
perfect.
perfect.
We cannot be God.
But
God
whatever
only
we
is
have,
perfect.
we just give to them.
Yeah.
Whatever we have, how much we know, we should just give to them.
Yes, yes.
And
Very
thank you, sir.
thank you, ma'am. Very interesting interaction. Any other question? Dheeraj, you have any question?
No, sir, I don't have any question.
Okay, thank you. Sir, thank you so much again. I think you have done the best if I go back again in scriptural world, a teacher is always a rishi. You said it. Uh, why he's a rishi is first he will learn, he will practice, he will test, he will implement, make sure that it works, then he will pass it on. So obviously that's the way it works.
Um, Sir,
You have
sir,
go
one
ahead,
thing, one thing.
Yes.
quick.
What when I got the message, I showed the message to all my faculty member. Okay, I by reading it, कि my ex student has written this. So all teachers has motivated from this message, and next day they started to come in time in prayer.
Madam, I tell you one thing.
Huh.
Some of them appreciated it
Yes,
from their heart.
yes,
Some of them ignored it.
yes,
And more than these two, those are those who felt jealous of you.
yes, yes. But at least 3 to 4 teachers now come in time and attend this
No, no.
prayer.
Ma'am, some appreciated you,
Yes,
some remained unaffected.
yes,
The number of persons who felt jealous,
yes,
they are more than the
yes.
combined these two.
Three
It's
types
a
of
fact.
no, it's good. Yes,
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so see, this ultimately this is the best thing that can happen out of interaction, because the whole Indian value system is on samvad. Two people are speaking, two teachers are speaking, not only two teachers, two people are speaking, maybe husband and wife is speaking, teacher and disciple is speaking, raja and people are speaking. So it is the conversation which is basic to our culture. So I think today's interaction has been the best. Now I'll also wish to share with you, sir. Some of us in the team are in the clan. Let me share you a story. About 40, 50 years ago, there was an experiment tried by one gentleman, by Dr. George Nicklin. Uh, Professor Joshi, can you mute your mic, please? Okay. Uh, he was a medical doctor and he was drafted into the World War. And he was somewhere in Europe, somewhere he was sitting in the trench and fighting the war. And he didn't get water, he didn't get food, he was starving. And suddenly he thought idea came to his mind, why am I doing this, whom am I fighting? And he got a sense that war is not the ultimate thing. So he also got a premonition that he will not die in the war, he will go back. So when he went back to US, he created an organization with a purpose: world knowledge for world peace. And that organization's name was Friends World College. And this is, as far as I remember, this is the world's first experiential learning institution which started. And it had about 8 centers around the world. India also had a center. And uh, one of its then director is part of our team, Professor Menon, EP Menon, the man who went around the world protesting against uh, nuclear weapons. Someday we will get him on board to speak. So, such experiments are good enough because I have read a lot about those experiments, and possibly what we cannot do in the public domain, maybe we can do it in such a informal platform where it can reach to the world, whoever is interested, and possibly we have an option to implement whatever we are planning. So with that perspective, your thoughts have been really valuable to us. In fact, I can say that my pad is full of tips for me. So I'm so grateful to you for addressing us today and sharing these thoughts. Uh, so I also thank the participants for valuable questions and interaction. Sir, I'll keep you updated on what happens here. I know you are a busy person, but still, I'll keep you updated, and I'll seek your inputs periodically, and we will update you on what steps we are planning to take, and let's see how we can take your support also in this entire system. Uh, Thank you so much for spending your time and spending your thoughts. Uh, so blessed we are. So thank you so much. On behalf of WCPA and all the affiliatory bodies, I thank you personally and on behalf of the organization for having shared your precious moments with us. Uh, Thanks, Dr. Talesra, for she's the culprit. She gave me the idea that someday I should get Dr. Dashara, and I had seen you. And basically, sir, as I said, we may go into each of these domains, but we wanted to concentrate on the value system majorly because uh, in this initiative of World Knowledge Commission and the GSWP, we also have a plan to build a vertical on faculty development initiatives. So whoever is interested can participate, and possibly they can undergo some kind of brief training, and they can also share their thoughts. So it's a kind of activity center. So that is going to take shape soon. Uh, so with that, I thank everyone again, and wish you a pleasant evening ahead. And we'll again catch up very soon. I'll share the notes of the meeting and possibly some of the action plan on the group and on the mail. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Madam
Thank
Usha ji. Namaskar.
you.
नमस्कार सर, आपका
Yes,
वैल्यू सिस्टम में जो संस्कृत के श्लोक आपने दिए वही इंडियन वैल्यूज इम्बाइब करनी है, बस उतने 4 श्लोक आपके